Well, everybody, Spegtacular, the Silver Stacular, here with 111 ounces of silver. Went to a local pawn shop today. That's right, said pawn shop, and spent $4,000 exactly for the silver that's in this bag. The pawn shop owner, I guess he was happy that I was doing a lot of business with him with silver. He actually ended up throwing some pieces in addition into the bag. So I was, I bought 111, but there could be some extras in this bag because he started throwing things in there. So maybe there's some extras. That would be awesome. We're going to go through each and every piece. I want to show you that you can go to the pawn shops and you can get some neat silver pieces if you guys are collectors of vintage things and, specialty rounds and coins and bars. That stuff could very well be in here. I told the owner that I wanted a variety pack as much as possible, and I think I got a nice variety. I'm going to shovel this stuff out. Excuse me, let me move my my Speg Standard bar here real quick to the side so it doesn't get all damaged up. There we go, Speg Standard. You're good now. All right, here we go. We're going to dump it all out, and I got to sort this stuff out a little bit and try to make some sense out of it. It's literally going off the screen. It's a lot. I guess I didn't really plan my location for this stuff too well. But I'm going to go through and each and every piece and just kind of show you what I got. First thing I saw is these right here. These, what are these? The Hoffman and Hoffman silver rounds. Very, very popular. A lot of premium on these things right here. Just so you know, there is definitely a premium. So that's a nice pickup. That was the first one that I grabbed right here. What is this thing? Has a $40 price tag. I think this is one of those Rwanda. Isn't that what that is? These Rwanda coins. I've never actually seen it in this plastic right here. This plastic is awful because it makes it to where you can't hardly see it. At the end of the video, if there's any fakes or whatever, I'll definitely show those off because I do test all my stuff. Right now, I'm just kind of trying to categorize everything and put them in some kind of order. If there's really basic things in here, what I'll probably end up doing is just melting them and just kind of being done with them. A lot of things that I really don't care for are things that are like maybe happy anniversary or happy birthday pieces. Those kind of pieces I typically melt because they're from like the 80s and they're not really relevant to anything I'm trying to do. Cool Sunshine Mint piece right there. I saw it looks to be a Norfed. Hold on, let me grab this out of here. It looks to be a Norfed. That's the side right there. Has some scratches to it. Let's see here. Yep, got a $10 Norfed. Look at that, nice Liberty dollar, huh? So if you know about them, they actually put the word dollar and dollar signs on their pieces, and the feds shut them down. They said, yeah, you can't be doing that, and that company was no more. Capital G&A Mint, that's a cool little art bar right there, or should I say a vintage bar. So that's a cool little vintage bar. Lots of vintage pieces, particularly right now, because people are just dumping silver off. There's a lot of sellers of silver right now, and so very few of us are actually out there buying. It's kind of, uncharted territory from, a while now when it comes to silver, and definitely not the high of silver. There were some times where it was higher than it is today, but it's just really uncharted territory in the last couple, last decade at the very least. Here you go, the Boston Tea Party piece. Try to go through them a little quicker. That's just a Silvertown piece, Sunshine piece right here, a little vintage Sunshine. That's kind of cool. And we've got a basic Buffalo over here. I've seen these before. What are these? Northwest Territorial Mint. Fun stuff right there. These are interesting right here, and these always catch my eye as being like, okay, are those legit? Just because they're so much smaller than your typical bar. If you look, it actually is kind of thicker, but it's also shorter. So they're both 1 ounce bars, but you can see how thick the one is on the left in comparison. So that makes up for, the size difference for sure. This is kind of a pretty Liberty Bell piece right there. That's cool. Neat piece. All right, let's keep it going. Don't tread on me on the right. And we got a kangaroo on the left. Cool. Keep on going. More Sunshine minting pieces. I got to count all these up too and see if I did truly get a bonus. Like I said, he was like throwing pieces in the bag. I got to appreciate that. I did a lot of business right there. So it was like, you know what? If you can hook me up, I'll like that. I'll appreciate it. Don't tread on me. Okay, just some basic pieces right here. These are cool. These Perth Mint pieces on the left right here. I like those. Another one of these pieces on the right. We saw a few of those so far. Kind of like a proof-looking Buffalo piece. Kind of neat. but it's just basic. Might end up melting that, we'll see. Here's a national bar on the left, and we got the Aztec bar on the right. That's toning up nice on the right over there. So that looks really, really good. Really cool. Let's see. We made some more sense out of these. Here's a couple more. I'm going to go through them all. I'm going to go a little faster right now because I think these are pretty basic, the ones I'm seeing right now. Basic, 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 basic. Some more sunshine rounds. Okay, let's move those over. Boston Tea Party on my right again. This is a silver shield piece on the left. Drop it, who cares? A couple more. Let's see, what is this? It feels weird, this one. Historic Colorado Mining. Interesting. Black Hawk, Colorado. 999 fine silver. Interesting. You know, it's weird that this one right here doesn't say it's 1 ounce. This is definitely a round that I can't wait to check. You know, why wouldn't you be proud of the whole, you know, fact that it's a 1 ounce piece? So interesting. It feels weird. It feels different. It feels lighter. So we'll put that to the side. Not that I'm not going to check every single one, but sometimes in your hand you can just feel that there's a difference. Let's see. What does that say? Awakened Sleeping Giant, World War II. That is a cool piece right there. I have never seen that before. Patriot. Those are neat. Those are really, really cool. There's a lot going on there. I don't know if you can really see it in this video, but those are pretty cool. I'll move that over. This looks like a Dogecoin piece or something. What is this? Right, it's some kind of crypto piece, isn't it? Oh, I think it's a Wall Street Bets. Yeah, look at that. Those are fun. Okay, cool. What do we got here? Maple Leaf. What year is that? 2023, newer Maple Leaf. A couple more pieces. The Poseidon right here. What is this piece? Liberty Centennial Celebration. So silver trade unit piece. What is this? 1 ounce of silver, allegedly, right? It says 1 copy. So sometimes it will say copy on an actual ounce of silver, and it's just because it's not a peace dollar, so they put copy on there, but it's still 1 ounce of silver. I actually had a lady that was mad at me some years back. She might still follow the show. I don't even know. Shout yourself out if you want to. But she was, man, she was just kind of mean to me. You know, she's like, you sold me a piece of silver that's a copy. I don't want a copy. I said, no, listen, it's a copy of a coin. I said, it's still 1 ounce of pure silver. I said, they do that sometimes so they're not getting in trouble trying to make something that's too close to a coin. And then I think she was, you know, more pleasant after I explained it to her, but she thought that I was trying to pull the wool over her eyes, which I was never trying to do that. I would never be that person. Not for me right there. This Spartan piece is kind of cool. Here's a toned up something right here. So this might be one of those anniversary or Christmas pieces or something. Yeah, boom, Christmas. Although the toning looks great, that thing it's going to be in one place, I promise you. In the depths of my fires. What is this? Just some piece right here. Some pawn shops that do, they mark every single piece, which is a nightmare, I tell you what. I got a couple of those pieces. What are these right here? Another maple on my left. Oh, Johnson Matthey piece. Nice. Okay. So they actually have a whole set of these right here. These different ones from Johnson Matthey. And obviously this is only one of the whole set. General Dwight D. Eisenhower. Look at this guy right here, huh? And how neat, man. What a creep. He has a creeper smile, does he not? Phew. Okay. Dwight, sorry, man. Sorry to talk about you like that. J.M. Bullion piece. What else we got here? OPM metals. So many different ones, huh? And that's what I like. I like the variety pack. Engelhard, there you go. Okay, now we're moving. We got a Justice piece here. All kinds of cool pieces. I think it was like $2 over spot for these right here, which was fine. I mean, whatever, you know. It's not as low as I like to go sometimes, but you got some really neat pieces here. So this National Bar, that's got a premium on it. That's cool. I like the toning on that. It's amazing what ends up having a premium. One nation under God. Amen? Amen. I like those. Let's see. Looks like a St. Gaudens little piece from Silvertown. That's pretty nice, right? That's a pretty nice little piece. Pretty cool. We got a Chiwu piece over here on the right. The Comsco, you can see the like the little hologram. We got 999, and then we got AG if you move it a certain way. That's kind of a fun little feature of that. And they look pretty good too. So Chiwu Wang, Chon Wang. Old Chon Wang, not John Wang. Chon Wang. I almost dropped it too. I did drop it. Here is one in a PAMP. These always make me a little nervous because they do counterfeit these assay cards. So I will definitely check that. If not, that's a great piece to grab right there because that'll have a premium for sure. These PAMP pieces typically do. These sometimes are counterfeit. These right here look legit, but of course I'm going to test everything. These are like these little Year of the Dragon pieces in 2012. These actually is Northwest Territorial Mint. These are counterfeit a lot too. Make sure you're testing these. I believe I've shown some counterfeit of these off on my channel before in a video. Again, another counterfeit right here is the Silvertown Mint bars. Not this particular one. I haven't seen that counterfeit, but you'll see some other ones for sure. So make sure you're checking everything. 1 troy ounce of silver, another anniversary piece. Yes, it's a shame because it's pretty, but typically those are meant for the melter. These little elemental mint pieces are so cool. I love how much they put on there. They put the AG, the atomic number of silver, you know, everything. It's so cool, so neat, really well done. What else we got? Sunshine Mining. Okay, still moving. Sunshine Minting. Cool American flag piece right here. Walking Liberty piece. I can test through the capsules. So my machine will actually test through that. So it should be fine to keep it in the capsule if I'd like to. Another one of these things. These might have a little premium right there too. I haven't looked those up in a long time. Bada bing. And anybody been keeping count? I got to count afterwards. Make sure that we're on the up and up on our numbers. It was kind of chaotic. This many pieces, the way that they were doing them, was a little chaotic. I like these a lot right here. Very, very sharp. Tri-State Refining. Huh. 1 troy. It's really nice. I mean, it's a perfect round. It's the perfect round. It just feels good. It looks good. I like it a lot. Okay, let's see. See, some people say that silver is silver, and I'm not disagreeing that in some cases it is, and in some cases in this pile it is, but there's some pieces in here that actually have a nice premium, so I can end up reselling those pieces for more and then adding to my stack. Okay, boom. So we're all done there. You can see that I put them all over there. I'm going to go count them all just to see how many there is, and then I got to test everything. All right, everything was checked for accuracy, 113 total pieces. The only issue was with everything is nothing was actually impure, but check this out. So I go to my handy dandy scale. I'm telling you, after a while, you can start to tell that something's off just by feel when you've done this for a long time. This particular piece right here, when I put this on the scale, this is on troy ounce. So everything, as you can see, it should be about 1 troy ounce. I don't want to try to give you free silver, so right there on the button, 1 troy ounce of silver. But this thing right here, that was the copy, if you remember, and that still showed up on the Sigma, totally legit, and it showed up on the scale as 1 troy ounce. Here we go, this Black Hawk Colorado. And I had mentioned, I was like, hey, I said, why would they keep the weight off of it? It's just such a weird thing to do. So I'm going to actually, hold on, zero this thing out, and we are going to put it on there, 0.7. Huh? Weird. What a weird weight. So we're going to actually go to change it to grams so we can see exactly how many grams this little sucker is. But this thing would get you right here, I tell you what, because it has a similar shape to a 1 ounce piece. It's a little bit thinner for sure, right? Actually, much thinner. Here we go. We're going to find out how many grams it is. 22 grams. Wow, look at that, huh? We're about 9 shy of where we need to be. Anyways, information for you right there. So just be very careful. I got this scale from Amazon for, I think it was like $5 at the time. I just had to put new batteries in there, which were Amazon batteries. So it lasts for a long time. This thing is years old right now, and I just had to put batteries in it for the first time. Not a bad investment right there to find out that something you got was, not what it seemed originally, I tell you what. But that being said, the owner had put a couple extra pieces into the bag, So technically this was a freebie, and then like you can consider this right here as well a freebie. I only paid for 111 and I got these little bonuses right here. So I will take that each and every day. Everything else is fine. The pawn shop was great, not a problem, very friendly over there. It was a good experience overall. I would do it again. Now, if I hadn't got, either one of these freebies, and this right here was in there somewhere, and this was my 111th piece, yeah, I would have called the pawn shop and been like, hey, one of those pieces, no bueno, pawn shopo. I would have had to say something about that. But for this particular situation, because those are bonuses, can't say nothing about it. I feel good about the whole experience, and always make sure you're testing everything, both weight, test it however you can. If you got one of these things right here, great. If not, there's other methods of testing. This is just real quick and convenient, like I've shown many times. You put it on there, and it shows pure. And again, I'll show you this thing right here. I'll show you that it actually did show pure. It feels weird in the hand, and it's because it's light. It's a lightweight piece, and you can see the difference in size right there. Maybe, I don't know. Look at that. Look at the diameter difference. Whew. Anyways, I got to go. Appreciate you for watching. Tell me what you think down in the comments. Very curious. Spegtacular is out.
Well, hello everybody. I seek to educate and entertain through my journey of collecting coins and stacking precious metals. I encourage you to subscribe, and please stay with me on this journey. I am Spegtacular, the Silver Stacular.
When I was a kid, we did this every day in school, and I believe we need to bring this back a little bit, and I'm going to start right now. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.